Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been a while. I have been busy. Like I said in one of my other videos, I've been doing NaNoWriMo, which is basically like a bunch of writing. I also didn't upload, first of all, rude. I didn't upload a couple weeks ago because it was Thanksgiving and I was spending time with my family and doing all that stuff. I apologize in advance before I do this video if you hear random like creaking noises or something. For some reason my apartment's heat just decides to make noises in the walls like a bunch of ghosts tap dancing. So that is going to be an inevitable thing. I'll try and edit it out as much as I can, but like I said, I apologize in advance for noises. Anyway, moving on to the video. Since it is December, a lot of things are doing like, you know, their yearly wrap up and all that good stuff. And I sort of thought, okay, I don't know what to do. And Doug, my lovely boyfriend, being the amazing person that he is, was like, hey, you should do a best games of the year. And I'm like, all of the games I play are typically like not new games. But I'm like, you know, screw it. I'm gonna make a little list and I'm going to, in this video, review my top 5 games of the year, ranging from as much as like 10 years ago to this year or within the past couple of years. So let's dive right on into that, shall we? Oh, golly. All right, my number 1 game of the year is surprisingly not Overwatch. It is actually a game called Nier Automata, or Nier Automata, or however the fuck you pronounce it. I call it Nier Automata. Holy fuck, this game. I literally went into this game blind. I had no idea what it was about. I knew of the character 2B, and I knew of her character design, and I knew that I liked her character design. And I got this game for my birthday in July, and I'm like, all right, it's the end of my birthday week and I need to play something. It's like an action RPG. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. It has like elements of like, you know, bullet hell in it and everything, which is great because I love bullet hell games, like, you know, Toho Project, like all that stuff. I love that stuff. And, you know, I'm playing this game. I'm like, okay, cool. It's like an action RPG. Like it has like some interesting, like, you know, battle elements. I was really captivated by the scenery. Like the scenery is beautiful and the soundtrack, holy fuck, the soundtrack is so good. Like it is beautiful. Anyway, so I started playing this a bit more and, you know, you're playing as 2B and you're kind of running around and doing stuff and like doing missions for this, you know, big scary army base. I'm not gonna get too much into this. Like I'm not gonna give away too many things. But the further you get into this game, the more you realize that it's a very like philosophical kind of thing, even down to like the names of some of the characters. Like one of my, actually no, my favorite character in the game, his name is Pascal, you know, after, you know, the philosopher, you know, Pascal. And another character, or another like side quest you can do, the guy's name is Jean-Paul. And I'm like, all right, I see what you're getting at here, you know, Nier, I see what you're getting at here. And it really brings into question a lot of how do androids, like this, like sentience, like do they have sentience? Like can they feel things? Like are they capable of like, you know, feeling things and all that good stuff? And it's just so captivating. And like you play through first as 2B, like the main character, and then you play through as 9S, which is her lovely little like Twinkie companion. And he's cool because he has the ability to like hack into things, and then you can, you know, either take over this, you know, machine life form, or it just like destructs, and it's great. I feel like every character in this game has a personality. Like they have a personality, even like the like tiny side quest characters, like they have personalities that are like, okay, yeah, awesome. Like it's easy to relate to them. And like I haven't, and like in the third playthrough you play as like another character, but it's getting kind of, that's going into sort of more spoiler territory, so I'm not going to touch on it too much. I always go into games like this, like whenever a character is very kind and very sweet, I always am like, you're gonna turn into something bad, or something very bad is going to happen to you. And that's very true in this game. How do I put this? I haven't been this emotionally impacted by a game or by a character death in a long time. I think the last time I got this invested in a character and a character death was probably in Persona 3 when things happened, but there was a point, like, in this game, like, towards the end, and I'm playing as this character, and I'm like, no, you can't do this, and it is tragic. Like, the whole story behind this is tragic, and I was, like, playing through, like, this whole mission, and I am, like, weeping, like, openly, just sitting on my couch, like, ugly crying, like, not even cute, like, full on just sobbing, like, and after I completed it, I'm like, Doug, help me, and he, like, comes out and he, like, hugs me, and I'm just, like, sobbing into him, and he's just like, oh, there, what do I do? I'm just like, but yeah, that is probably the reason that Nier Automata, rather, is my game of the year, because it is so in-depth, it has such good lore, like, you can find, like, Doug started playing through this game, and I'm like, oh, I got, like, some stuff, but he is the kind of person who's like, I need to do every single little thing in a game, and he was, like, discovering things that I didn't know about, and I'm like, whoa, this is awesome, and he was, like, getting all these, like, little, like, tomes and, like, pages of torn out of books, and I'm just like, motherfucker, like, this is so good, like, the lore is amazing, and, you know, you have to make, like, you don't have to make, like, really, really difficult choices, but there are some times when you're just like, it stuck with me, and I love it so much. You know, I have so many, like, cinnamon buns, like, from this game. I am planning to get a tattoo of Pascal, along with the Iron Giant on this arm, like, a half sleeve, because I love Pascal. Pascal is, like, the best fucking character. Pascal is best boy. I love Pascal so much. My second game of the year is a game that's a little bit older, but my friend James suggested it to me because I have been kind of sharing things that I've been doing for NaNoWriMo with him, and he's like, you know what? This reminds me a lot of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and I'm like, really? Okay, I should play that. And I did. My second game of the year is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It is kind of like an open world, like, fantasy RPG kind of thing. And it's very similar to Fallout, like, in the way that you have, like, this open world and you go and you do quests and you have, like, a main story, but you can, like, go off and do, like, side quests for, like, however the fuck, because apparently it's like, oh, we're on, like, a time crunch, but we can wait, like, you know, a year while you go and do, like, 5,000 side quests and level your shit up, so that's cool. I don't like being timed. I don't like that. I don't like being, like, on a time crunch. That's not cool. So in The Witcher 3, basically what you're doing is you are you're looking for your ward, Ciri, and you basically have to go through, like, trials and tribulations in order to get to her. And she's being pursued by this thing called the Wild Hunt because they want her powers, but what powers are they? Ooh, I don't know. And, you know, you kind of, like, figure out things about, you find things out about Ciri throughout this game, and you also come in contact with, like, your past lovers, and you meet people that, you know, become, like, your friends and all that good stuff. And admittedly, I haven't gotten that far in this game yet. I am maybe just getting to level 6. Like, I am a baby. And as soon as I finish recording this video, I am basically gonna spend the rest of my day on this couch playing that game because it is so good. And it's, like, one of those games where you just, like, want to dedicate, like, your whole day to playing, and I really like that. Because, like, sometimes you just want a game that you can just pick up, play, and then kind of drop, but, like, The Witcher, like, whenever I find a game like this that's, like, really, really immersive and has a lot to it, I like, hyper-focus, just, like, laser focus, writing down notes in notebooks, like, that level of obsessed, I suppose. I've only been playing it for maybe, I want to say maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, but it's great. Like, I think I like it better than Fallout. Like, I love Fallout, don't get me wrong, like, don't come for me, I love Fallout. The only thing I don't like about Fallout is that it's a shooter, and I am not good at shooters. I am an RPG kind of girl. Like, I prefer either like defensive kind of rude. I prefer more defensive kind of mechanisms, like, you know, casting magic. Like anytime I play like a Dungeons and Dragons type of game, like Neverwinter Nights, I am like always a druid. I am always like, you know, casting like Eldritch Blast and like all that stuff, just like, you know, fucking people up from a distance. But at the same time, I really do like fighting with swords. And this game is great because it incorporates a lot of sword fighting, like so much sword fighting. It has a really good balance between your spells and your your swords and your crossbow and everything like that. Not to mention the environments in this fucking game are like boner inducing. They are so beautiful. Like you can tell like the game team just put so much effort into making everything look gorgeous. And I really like, one of like the things I love most about like RPGs and like open world things like this is you like walk around and you hear just like people talking and you just like walk past them. It doesn't really mean anything, but you hear them talking and it's just like random shit and you're just like, oh, okay. Because it's like, you know, you're walking around in a town and you can't just like, you know, people in towns in real life don't just stand around and just wait for you to come up to and talk to them, and then they just sort of repeat the same line over and over. And to be fair, like the people in this game repeat the same lines over and over, but it just sort of makes it feel a bit more immersive. There are times in this game where I had to wear headphones because the Foley and the sound design is so good. There was a point where I'm standing next to this old mill, like an old like windmill, and it was like nighttime in the game and it just sort of added to the overall ambiance. But I'm standing next to this mill and you just hear it moving and swaying and creaking. And I literally just stood there for like 5 minutes just listening to it, just like, I always appreciate really well designed games that have really good Foley and really just authentic sounding things. Not to mention, like, the lead character in the game, Geralt, I lovingly refer to him as Daddy Silverfox because woof. He's very handsome, and that helps. Also, like, within the first, like, 5 minutes of this game, you just, like, see him in a bathtub, and then, like, there's, like, a woman, like, sitting over, like, next to him, and you just see ass, and I'm like, woo! Yes! Awesome! Action, adventure, RPGs, magic, swords, and ass and titties. This is great! This is my kind of game. I love it. So, yeah, so number 2 game of the year is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Alright, number 3 game of the year is Overwatch, because my whole, I feel like 75% of my channel is dedicated to Overwatch, and Overwatch is like one of those games where I can put on and play and just kind of, you don't have to think too hard when you play it. I mean, you think, like, you have like strategy and stuff, but then there are times when you're like, you know what, I just want to load up this game, play as my husband, Junkrat, and blow some shit up. And it is a very, like, I don't play on mic very often because I don't really do competitive games. I just do quick play. Like, I play on mic, like, with my friend Lloyd, and, like, we just sort of, you know, do that. But I don't really play, like, competitively because, one, competitive play on the Xbox is fucking garbage. And two, I'm a very competitive person, and if I don't, like, win, like, every single placement match, I'm just like, well, I'm a failure. I'm never playing this again. So, but anyway. Yeah, Overwatch is just, it's really fun. Like, it's just, it doesn't feel like a chore. Like, it doesn't feel like, because there are some games where you just have to grind and grind and grind, and they're just sort of like, this isn't fun anymore. It feels like a job. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like work to get this thing for this weapon to fuse together and make this thing. And that can be fun, but when it comes to, like, a shooter or something, I just literally just want to blow shit up. One of the things that is the most appealing to me about Overwatch, aside from, like, the inclusivity of, like, you know, a good balance between, like, male and female and, like, you know, different, like, races and stuff like that, one of the things I love the most, if not the thing I love the most about Overwatch, is the fact that all of the skins and, like, cosmetic items are cosmetic only. And you get unlimited ammo and you don't have to worry about upgrading your weapons. So literally everything you do is based on your skill with that certain character. And I really like that because there are some times when you go into a game like a first-person shooter, like, oh fuck, what are the kids playing these days? Like Call of Duty or something like that, or Halo. Maybe Halo? I don't know. What is it with all these fucking engines? Like, weird flex, but okay. Yeah, it's like sometimes you go into like a first-person shooter and you're playing online, and you know they sometimes do like level matching, but then there's like that one fucking tryhard kid who's like level 3, but he's just like jacked and he has like all of the weapons and like all of the, you know, all the upgrades, and you're just there with like a little stick and like a little shield that's made out of like, it might as well be made out of like fucking cardboard. Like, that is one of the reasons I don't like playing games like Call of Duty or anymore, or why I don't like playing games like Halo. And with Overwatch, I can just like go in and just play as a character and just have fun and, you know, get like some little like cute outfits or like some little voice lines, and I can spam those voice lines if I want, and it's just fun. That is why it is my number 3 game of the year. So number 4 game of the year, it is the game Dead Cells. And Dead Cells is probably the most recent game that I have played. It came out earlier this year, and it is a roguelike sort of dungeon crawler kind of thing. And admittedly, I have not played a lot of these games because I tend to get really frustrated with them because, I don't know, I like being able to save in spots, and with roguelike games you can't do that. And not to mention, in roguelike games a lot of things are timed, and I don't do well with timed things. I like to either take my time and explore, or I just have to like barrel through and like figure my shit out. And I guess I have had a little bit of practice with roguelike games because Persona 3 has a roguelike aspect to it when you explore Tartarus, because the floors change. There are like some fixed floors, but like the floors change like every time you go there, so nothing is the same. And I was like, okay. I also went into Dead Cells blind. I'm like, I don't fucking know what this is, but my friend recommended it to me, so I'm gonna play it because that's the kind of impressionable soul that I am. And I actually really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun playing it. I haven't made that much progress in it, but I like the dialogue. Not like the dialogue, but like the little like speech bubbles, because the main character is like snark incarnate. And basically what you're doing is like you wake up and you're like in this prison and you're trying to like make your way out into the world, and I don't know. I honestly kind of forgot the plot of Dead Cells. I just have been grinding it so much. It's good. Like, it's really fun. I like the music. I like the graphics a lot. The graphics are really cool. Like, it's like pixelated and everything and stuff like that, but it's not like, you know, like the 8-bit, 16-bit kind of stuff. It's just, I love pixel art that's very fluid. Like the kind of like sprite, like video game sprites where they're kind of like bouncing, kind of like, you know, and they sometimes have things like coming off of them. Like, I really love like that style of pixel art, and I feel like that's kind of what Dead Cells has going for it. And the color schemes are really pretty, and the weapon design is really interesting. Like, you have a lot of like combos that you can do, like combo attacks, and when you get further on in the game and you unlock a whole bunch more weapons, you have like weapons available to you in the beginning, and it's just like a random like combination of things. Like, I was just playing and I had a combination of these things called Spartan sandals, which I don't like because it's a very like close quarter kind of thing. And basically like what you do is you kick people, and if you kick them into a wall, it does more damage. So I got a combination of Spartan sandals and Frost Blast, which is like a Hadoken, but you freeze people. And so basically I like just like freezing people and kicking them into walls. And it's not my favorite combination. My personal favorite combination is the Assassin's Dagger, which gives you a critical hit if you are behind somebody and they don't notice you, paired with the Firebrands, which is like hucking like fire and lighting everything on fire, and it's great. I like that you have like a little break like in between each level. You just don't go like balls deep like into each level, just like one right after the other, just like, you know, muy rapido, just, you know, I like that. And I really, yeah, the environmental design is very cool. Yeah, so basically I'm rambling a lot, but I really like Dead Cells. I think it is a very good game. I am very impressed with it. I like the snark of the main character. I like the fact that, you know, he like examines things, and sometimes like he doesn't talk, but like sometimes he'll examine things and he'll be like, and he'll do like a thumbs up and he'll like nod, and then there's sometimes when he just like really angrily gives the middle finger to somebody, it's just like, meh. It's great. I'm very pleased with that game. I feel like this is kind of a cop-out for saying that my 5th game of the year is Persona 3, because Persona 3 is literally my life, but I'm planning a bunch of videos soon that basically just like delves into each character, like each social link, and how it correlates with the arcana of the tarot. And it's going to be a very long and very, not arduous process, but it's going to be a very long process. I was like, okay, I should probably play this game again just to refamiliarize myself with it, because I know a lot about it, but there are still some social links that I haven't actually done in the game because I haven't had the time to like level up what I need to level up. So basically, I'm not going to go into the plot of Persona 3 because there's a whole other half-hour video that I did about it. So yeah, I basically was replaying it to like relearn about like the social links and all that good stuff. And you know those games where you play it and you realize why you like playing video games? That is what Persona 3 is to me, because every time I play it, I get an equal parts mixture of nostalgic and also excited, because I know what's going to happen, but at the same time, even if I know what's going to happen, I still love it. And even something as simple as like the menu sounds, or just like the music you get like when you're exploring the world, like that has such a special and important place in my heart. I love Persona 3. I love the Persona series. I admittedly have not finished playing Persona 4, and I have not played Persona 5 yet because I do not have a PS4, but I just, these are the kinds of games that I like. Like these, like kind of like JRPGs / combat thingies, and, you know, sort of roguelike and visual novels. Like it's just a mix of all of that, and it's wonderful. Persona 3, Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3, I'm playing it on the PlayStation Portable right now, like very old. I have game saves on that back from like, I think 2016. But Persona 3 is my 5th game of the year, and probably my 2nd favorite game of all time. My 1st favorite game of all time is, well, actually no, Persona 3 is probably my favorite game of all time now that I think about it. The runners-up for this list, I haven't played a lot of games this year. I attempted to play Bayonetta, didn't really like it. I appreciate it, but I'm sorry, I didn't really like playing Bayonetta, okay? Jesus. I played a little bit of this game called Thumper, which is sort of like a psychedelic horror rhythm game, and that was almost on this list, but the thing is, I like a challenge. Thumper is damn near impossible in some spots. Like, it's so good, and the music is great, the environment is great, everything is wonderful with Thumper. I liked Thumper. I will say that. I really did like Thumper. I appreciate the design. I like that it's a rhythm game, because I feel like there are not enough rhythm games like that, and there need to be more rhythm games like that. And I attempted to play a bit of Destiny, but I'm just like, it's a shooter, and you have to, like, you know, you can't just, like, you know, spray your bullets around. You have to, like, actually ration them and have, like, strategy, and I'm not a very strategic person when it comes to combat. I just sort of, like I said, either staying back and, like, casting spells, or I like kind of just, like, charging in. Another runner-up is Okami. They re-released it for the Xbox earlier this year, and I was very happy about that because I really love Okami. I played it a long time ago on the PS2. I didn't play it on the Wii because I don't like the Wii. Sorry! Jesus! Let me see. What else? There was a game that I tried to play called Fury, F-U-R-I, and it was sort of like a bullet hell kind of action game, and I liked it. I liked the soundtrack a lot. It had some it was composed by some artists that I really like, but the learning curve was a bit too tricky for me. It wasn't, like, the mechanics were great, but it was also very difficult, and I'm kind of dumb, and I kind of need to ramp up. I need to have a learning curve that kind of ramps up, unless it's a game that I just get, like, intuitively, something like Nier or Persona. And I guess Overwatch to an extent, but still, I need a bit more time to, like, adjust. Like, if I'm dying, like, constantly in the tutorial phase, then, I need to rethink my life choices and also practice a lot more. Another game that I played recently that's also older is Bastion. I hadn't played Bastion. I listened to the soundtrack, and I also listened to the soundtrack for the other game that game design company made called Transistor. I listened to that a lot, but I hadn't actually played it. And I played it, I bought Bastion at the same time that I bought The Witcher, and I needed something to play while The Witcher was downloading, because The Witcher is enormous. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I like how Bastion is designed. Like, I like that when you walk, like, things, like, fall in front of you. I really like that. I like the combat style. I love the fucking narrator in that game. Oh my god. So good. I love the narrator in that game. He's fantastic. And yeah, I really liked Bastion. It's not top 5 games of the year quality for me, but it's still wonderful, and I still appreciate it, and I think it's fantastic. I almost want to say that Destiny 2 was on this list, even though I haven't played it, but I have watched so many fucking hours of Destiny 2 that I feel like I could play it, but no. Destiny 2 is Doug's domain, and I am still kind of like, wait, what's Crucible? Like, what's Iron Banner? Like, who's the Drifter? Like, I will say there was, like, a thing that happened earlier this year with a character that Doug and I like very much, like the Hunter Vanguard Cade 6. Pour one out for him. I like how involved Destiny 2 is, but it's not something that is easily understood by me, because like I said, I'm kind of dumb. So I think that's it. This is such a rambly Game of the Year video, but this is what happens when I don't have notes. I'm just like, I'm gonna make a video. So those are my top 5 games of the year. So we have Nier Automata, we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, we have Overwatch, we have Dead Cells, we have Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3. And I really do want to play, like, more modern games, but to be fair, a lot of the more modern games that I want to play are on the fucking PS4, which I don't have, and I am trying to save for. I also need to save up and get a Switch, because I was just informed today that not only is Katamari Damacy coming to the Switch, but also fucking Undertale, and I'm like, just take all of my money. What are your games of the year? Like, what games did you like? Did you agree with my list? Do you like some of the games on this list? Do you not like some of the games on this list? What games do you think I should play? Like, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I really like hearing from people. I'm like, I really like talking to people. I like hearing what people have to recommend to me. So please, let me know what games you think I should play down in the comments. And yeah, I am now going to go play The Witcher and just sort of wrap myself up in a blanket like a burrito and eat some food. And yes, I love and appreciate every single one of you who take the time out of your day to watch these videos. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, week, whatever point you're watching this video at. And I will see all of you in the next video. Love you. Bye.